Hey guys, so this video is just gonna be looking at some of the data of 2024 to see what events were kind of significant in getting to the current landscape right now. Because right now, Pokemon prices are through the roof. It's hard to find products. Surging Sparks is very hyped right now. Prismatic Evolutions, the Team Rocket set. There's just a lot of hype. There's a lot of prices going up. There's a lot of selling out quickly. And so, how did we get here? So it's nice to do this right now because it's toward the end of the year and a lot of data available. It's usually like only free for a year, so you know better record this while the data is available. So put Evolving Skies here, but actually first I want to look at some of the events from Sword and Shield I remember. So two boxes I remember that were pretty significant were Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign. And look at the 1 year data. About a year ago, they were only about like pretty much MSRP. So MSRP for Sword and Shield is about 144. For Scarlet Violet's like 160. But it was still 144. So about a year ago, if you bought on TCG Player, it'd be the same price as Pokemon Center, and there's not really a big scramble to buy them all out. Um, and I remember even like years ago, like there's a big reprint of Chilling Reign and Fusion Strike where you could get them for less than 100 per box, maybe like 70, 80, 90, depending on taxes and fees and stuff. But yeah, Chilling Reign, not much better. It was like about 150. Um, and so right now they're about like Chilling Reign 230. So that's quite a big jump. That's like $80 in a year. And you see that there's this big jump over here around March. And in March as well, like February, March, it's like February 2026, 160, and a huge jump. Wow, that's like $80 in just about a month. So early this year, obviously a lot of attention going to these sets because Pokemon Center was out of them, and even though these are sets that people didn't like back in the day because they were like pull rates or like I remember when like people were they hated like Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign because of the pull rates. Um, Even though some of the cards are really good. So, um, but yeah, so that was one of the big things. So I kind of look at it as I'm not actually saying there's like one event that happened in the last year that caused all this Pokemon madness, but there were definitely some key points where it started shifting people's attentions to like, hey, maybe I should invest in this stuff. Maybe I missed out. Oh, and then everyone knows FOMO. Fear of missing out. Like, oh shoot, like I should have bought Fusion Strike back in the day. Now what can I buy? Should I buy it now? Um, so yeah, Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign around early in the year, around March. Those were pretty significant events. And okay, let me just check Evolving Skies real quick. So actually, Evolving Skies around the same time actually. So probably other Sword and Shield boxes, but I'm mainly just gonna look at these three. Pretty much, like, it's crazy. Like Evolving Skies was about 400 a year ago, and that's about a little less than triple MSRP, but like now it's at like 900. Like it's reaching toward 1,000, and Evolving Skies seems to have this sort of like it goes up and there's this flat period. So it's relatively flat from March to October. So that's like what 5 months. So you had a good 5 months where like is the Volume Sky still worth the investment? But even if we bought here, like if you just bought like during this time period, you'd be up like $200 already. So and look at the cards. Um, it's not really a mystery why some of these things are so expensive. I think I have some of the cards up around here. But yeah, so yeah, Fusion Strike. Like I heard the pull rates are pretty bad, but yeah, just a lot of this is Poke Data. Oh, by the way, has like sorts the cards by their value, and yeah, these are just really nice cards. Like I love Pokemon. Like Gengar's really popular. Espeon, Mew, Celebi. Like these are like really nice looking cards. Um, and then like Chilling Reign, like not as popular I feel like, but yeah, like Blaziken's. All right. This Moltres has nice art. But yeah, it's like still like they're worth Excuse me. Um, a good amount. Um, just like the birds, they're pretty popular, and like they're still worth quite a bit. Like 40. This is like 60, 70. It's like Chilling Reign total value sets like 1,200. Um, Fusion Strike is 900. Like Chilling Reign's worth more than Fusion Strike, although I kind of see why Fusion Strike's worth more. Like the top chase cards are just more better, and Evolving Sky is just crazy. Like the Umbreon is going to like 1,300, and even Rayquaza is that, and like there's just so many good chase cards in here. I think I even have some of the. I may have just put up the Umbreon, but yeah, the Umbreon. Let's see the data on that. Um, So like even the Moonbreon, it's more than a Evolving Skies box, and it was like 500 a year ago. If you bought it, like you'd be more than double your money. Like it's $800 gain, like $800. Like you could bought almost three Moonbreons, like excluding tax and stuff, for the price it is now. And yeah, it had the uptake around. I think that the booster box prices around here, so it's a little before, it went up from like 500, it went up 100, 200, and then like you see there's a little bit of backing off right there, um and it just keeps going. It's like 900, and it's like whoa, and then it goes back down, but it doesn't go back nearly as much as it did before. Like 800 still pretty high, and then around September, like it just kept going up and up and up. So I think that, so these things in my mind, what I think about what people are thinking about when they know about Chilling Reign and Evolving Skies and all that is like, oh no, did I miss out on these boxes? Like, oh my god, um, like maybe like there's some really good like high value boxes now. Like, what about Fusion Strike and Chilling Reign were like really good now? Like, what are some cheap things? And like I think Paldea Evolve, I'll get there in a sec. That was a good one. But yeah, and Evolving Skies was a big one because this is a huge outlier. There's many boxes that are way older, booster boxes that are worth way less of Evolving Skies, and like just appreciate, like if you just put all your money on Evolving Skies, it would have been like the right choice for most people. Like the appreciation on this was like crazy, but you have to weigh it out because the way these things work is that Evolving Skies like had bumps. Like you could have sold it like 200 and 300 and 400. 400 was the start of this year, and like you bought like 140, 150, and you saw 400. That's still really appreciation. Like a lot of boxes you expect to double in like a couple of years. Like this more than doubled, but like if you waited longer, like you could have gotten like way more than that. So like this isn't necessarily uncommon in the sense of like the box will reach like a certain high, but then some highs like they happen at periods, but like it's like sudden jumps because the supply of the market just changes. Because like people sell at these new highs, like people probably sold here, um, and then they're like, okay, cool, like I didn't miss out on profits or because like they sell it because they're like, hey, I don't know when the next price jump is gonna be, but then the next price jump sometimes it's worth it to wait. But depending on circumstance, you might want to cash out early. There's some saying like no one gets hurt taking profits. But yeah, so Evolving Skies, like Chilling Reign, like for Evolving Skies, people are starting to see the pattern of, hey, like what's the next Evolving Skies? Like I want that box to just like quadruples my money and so much. And some people think that's Searching Sparks now. But yeah, the Sword and Shield box has definitely had a large impact on the market. Um, and let's see, another really important box was Twilight Masquerade. So this was a box that no one thought was a good set. Let me see if I can pull up the cards. Well, let's look at the price data first. So this is pretty normal. Like around release date, a lot gets sold, and the price is also like kind of high at the beginning. So like at the beginning, it was selling for like 130, 120, and then like it gets back down to normal market price. Normal market price was about 100. You got a little more or less, but let's say 105. That's 115, 110. So let's say 110 to 100. It was there for like a while. I'll say a while in quotes, but then like at some point you see like the spike, it just never goes down, and yeah, that was really weird. So like normally I guess I would expect maybe at this point down here, since people didn't think it was a bad set, like this right under here, it'll just keep going down. But then like it actually does this big spike. So let's see, when was that? So it was around like um mid July that like that's when there was a big spike. And let's see, I have the Greninja card pulled up somewhere. Um, Magikarp. Yeah, I have this. So when did that happen? So mid July was when the box went up. Then yeah, this also an anomaly. Like usually they say that pre-release cards when you get out of the box, um, you should sell them as soon as possible if you got like the cards early on because they just go down in price. But this literally pretty much never went down in price, which is crazy. So at the beginning you could buy Greninja for 120, um, and now it's like 270, so it's more than double. But like yeah, there's this little slight blip. Went up to like 130, and you could have gone down to like 125. It goes from like 125 to 145, and just keeps going and going. Like goes to 200 in like a few months, and it's like yeah, mid July when that price like I guess the Godinda card just never went down, and then since there's such a high value card in here, everyone wants to pull it. Like people, there's just like high demand for this. I think like sometimes also the TCG affects it. I don't know much about the Pokemon game. Sometimes if there's like cards there that are good for playing, people will like it. But yeah, I think there are also a few other good cards in there. But like yeah, a lot of people did not like um Twilight Masquerade. Um, like for me personally, like these cards, like they're just not very appealing to me. Over here, but like there are definitely like so there's like the Greninja, which is the outlier. Like if this card wasn't here, like next card's only worth like 67. Like this would be like a definitely a volunteer set. Like even the Eevee might be the top chase cards, but you have Greninja, which is just like the reason why it's so much. Like I think this is like the most expensive chase card, Scarlet Violet, which is so like it brings up some like evolving skies sort of like hype, and that's why the booster box of Twilight Master Ray kept going up. You have the two waifus, and this Eevee card is also really popular, so it's number four. Well, other than that, like honestly, like all these cards, like I guess Chance looks nice. Some of these other cards, they don't really seem that great to me. Like I do like this Infernape, um, but yeah, just not something you'd expect to be like this. This is not Evolving Skies because it doesn't have the depth of Evolving Skies. Like it doesn't have all those other good cards. Like Evolutions are nice because there's just so many evolutions. But this Greninja is like really holding its own. So let's see. So yeah, we had the events of like the Sword and Shield boxes around March. Let's say March, April ish, and then you had the Twilight Masquerade around July. So those are two significant events. So that's like early like first quarter of the year, and then like just after the second quarter of the year. That's when these events started happening. Um, or let's see, and then I think 151. So that was on people's mind, and also I guess like we'll talk about this Magikarp too because it's in Paldea. So Paldea Evolved was not very popular. Scarlet Violet was not very popular. Like this, like you get Paldea Evolved for like 90. Excuse me, like about a year ago in January. I think it was in going to like close like 70, 80 or something. Like it just wasn't very popular. And then like there's just like it went to like 100, but honestly 100 is kind of normal for a booster box. But then like I guess the big price jump happened around this like this is when like we bought here Whipping Good ish, like 110, and then just at a big price jump to like 130. So yeah, that was pretty significant. Like a box game close to 130 is like that's more in the higher tiers of cards. So I think that this was like kind of right after, um, this was a little bit after the Sword and Shield thing. So I guess people were like, "Hey, what are the top chase cards?" So that could have been part of the reason why. And then we look at the Magikarp. Um, let's see. So Magikarp. Yeah, so there was that Sword and Shield thing around March, and so Magikarp was only like a $56, $70 card, and now it's like so it's like $100, $110 gain in like less than a year. Like if you bought at this point, and the big jump was to like April, and then there's another jump to like June, and then started dying down. Like Paldea has been more like kind of steady. If you look at the graph, I think it's because it just went up really quick, and no, it doesn't. It's not like a Twilight Mastery that goes all the way, and there are also like, some reprint things. But yeah, if you look, it just has like it's been kind of relatively flat, honestly, like 130 to 140. But still, like it's just like the price isn't like dropping. I think Twilight Masquerade is good. It's just that like Pokemon Center MSRP, since they raised it to 160, is sort of now the new floor or ceiling, and that's why like Twilight Masquerade box, there's just like this limit. Like people aren't gonna spend more, like much more than Pokemon Center prices because you can still get them. Paldea Evolved, we're at the point where a lot of the restocks are kind of starting to get flushed out because it's an older set. Which is why Masquerade is like actually really new, so like it's like way faster growing. And so there's still potential restocks or reprints or whatever. Not that they might not be eaten up. But yeah, so definitely still following that sort of trend. Like it seemed like April ish, March April ish was when like there was a little spike. Twilight Masquerade had the July spike, and then that caused a lot of stuff. Um, and then 151. So 151, it wasn't doing as well. So, but I know the big event was like definitely was this Charizard. This Charizard like overnight, like what was this? This is like September. So September was about $100. Throughout the year, it was like $100, 90 to 110 car, let's say. And then just like early October, like literally, like it just goes like double in price basically. I think the PSA 10 was even crazier. Now it's pretty much been the same price. Like it's gone down like what almost like $20, but it's just stay at this price. And then like this brought along a lot of like 151 hype, because like I remember like there was a bunch of booster bundles available like a few months ago. Pokemon investing, like you can still get drops if you're part of just a normal like Reddit group or whatever. Um, but where's yeah, but yeah, like like TCG Player now adds volume to its graphs. So like you see like under the solid blue line, like this bar graph, like this is where like a bunch of booster bundles got put into the market, like all this stuff over here. Also, this is probably when I think Walmart had like a bunch of booster bundles for sale. You could buy, and Walmart doesn't really put a limit on its orders, so you can just buy a lot. I think other stores like GameStop, whatever, also had it. Um, but yeah, like the booster bonus MSRP is around 30ish. Um, and so like it's been hovering around like 30, 40. It's like pretty normal throughout the year. I think the UPC was a little more crazy, and then like so there's a September and then like October, like it just goes like so like the Charizard they cap in first, but yeah, the Charizard doubled around like October, so that's like no, it's like 47. So the price is going up, and then it just goes to like once September, like once October ends, to like November, it's like double in price. Now that everyone is scrambling because 151, this is where like getting proc so much harder. Like if you see, because if you see 151 MSRP, it's like it's already a double once you like buy. So if you can sell it even at like a discount, like you make all your money back. Um, that's where a lot of the 151 ish stuff happened. And then since 151's technically been out for a while, like people were just buying everything. Like there was a UPC on sale. And so yeah, and then after 151, like there might have been like Stellar, or like I don't know the exact ordering, but Surging Sparks was like definitely the big next big thing because like there's Stellar Crown, but no one really cared about Stellar Crown. But Surging Sparks was like this was kind of like this kind of what turned like non-believers to believers basically. Like some people were already um speculating that like Surging Sparks would be like the next Evolving Skies, and I don't really think it's as good as Evolving Skies, but does have definitely a lot like this melodic. Um, I think that someone recently said like it was undervalued. Yeah, this is really beautiful Pikachu. Um, Pikachu is selling like PSA 10 like I think 5 digits, like 10,000, 20,000, like 30, something like that. So the raw is like around 500 now, and even a Latias like 250. Like this is like, but like the Greninja is like 300. So like Greninja will be here, but like most like a lot of other sets you see like their second card is like $60. First $6 card is like the second row. So all these cards are over $100 just raw. You have these like there's all like just these nice. Some of the cards like just feel like they're nice and not they're not like that expensive. Like this Surulege, this Skarmory. Some people like this Phoebus, but and then like this Mesper. But like yeah, there's just like a lot of good cards in here. And then yeah, it's just it has the same sort of like Twilight Masquerade effect where like um since you can kind of get your money back if you do pull the chase card, like people are willing to spend more for the box. And I also heard that um, there are just less booster boxes supplied. Like there might have been other products, like there's booster boxes, all that, but there's just less of this. So like when you see it's like it's almost like a straight up graph. Like I do remember some of these events. I think like around this dip here is when Pokemon Center sold out of their booster boxes. Like I think they sold out everything before release day, but like then like things got back in stock except for the Pokemon Center ETB. And then it got sold out again, and people were like, "Oh shoot!" And then like the volume, you just see so many of these. Like this is hundreds and hundreds of boxes. Um, and yeah, so Surging Sparks is now like $200. Like if you bought it like pretty much in like about a month or two, like the hype with Surging Sparks is like, I think it shows here you could have like pre-ordered it around September. So I know the 151 stuff happened in October. So this is like when 151 started heating up. Like this is when the Charizard doubled. So it was around like one. So this like kind of normal booster box prices. But the thing is that most people are used to getting booster boxes for like 80, 90, $100 after release. So they're like, I'm not gonna buy a pre-release. And so like yeah, for a lot of boxes you could have done that, but like since the box kept going up, like you can't do that anymore. Unless you just got someone who just gave you a discount for whatever reason. And then closer and closer to release day, I think it was like was it November 8th or something. Like it just or it was October. I don't remember the release date, but like it just kept getting crazier and crazier basically. Um, so that's where I was searching Sparks. Like once everything sells on Pokemon Center, then you're just into like whoa like territory. Like because then everyone who has a booster box is basically just like a sort of a third party seller sense, like a local card store, local game store, or like just someone who bought it pre-release. But yeah, this is something. And then recently, like you see this big spike over here. This was the TCG player sale, where it didn't affect the price of Surging Sparks a lot, but what it did is that it flushed out a lot of inventory in the market. So like since since there's only so many booster boxes around, um, the more and more stuff that gets flushed out, the more the prices will go up if there's no resupply. So yeah, that's been a pretty important thing, and I think that's a lot of the events. Like so, I guess to summarize it, like there's the Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Evolving Sky stuff that happened around like March this year, and then Twilight Masquerade happened around like July. The Greninja card went up, um, and I think with the Sword and Shield stuff, the Magic card in Paldea went up, um, and then you got like 151 around October that had that doubling, which so everyone's like frantic. Oh, I need 151, and then like soon after that, um right after like 151 stopped doubling, which is around November, then everyone's all the attention like shifted to Surging Sparks because the prices of 151 haven't like increased that much. So yeah, because Surging Sparks is like 160, which is a lot, but like compared to like 200, 210, like this is where like the attention of everyone the last month has been. And then I didn't put it up. I should look up Terrestrial Festival actually. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, no, not it's prismatic. I'm like I can't prismatic in Pokemon. Okay, so I'll just click on this, so I can just click on this. Okay, so prismatic evolutions, that's been going crazy. This is the ETB, um, and this is just a normal ETB. This isn't Pokemon Center. Normally ETB is supposed to be $50, but yeah, it's just it just keeps the TCG player isn't the best representation for this stuff. But yeah, like people are buying like hundreds of these ETBs like all the time, or like I guess every few days. And it's like the demand of this has just been crazy. I think it has like this really nice EV card, but we'll see how that goes. With Surging Sparks, you could have gone a pre-release. It would have been a safe thing. Like it's a booster box around like 100, 110, 120. Like that's even if there's some crash or whatever, that's still pretty safe if you hold. But these Mac Evolutions things like, and there's been a variation crazy like this surprise box, um, with some random promo cards for getting a lot of people. You can't find these. The tins have been impossible to find. They're supposed to be like what $10 normally, and now they're like 30, $40 each. People want the whole set; they sell instantly. Like it's kind of gettable to get the tech sticker collection, sometimes the binder. But yeah, it's just so and the poster collection. But yeah, it's so hard to get. Like there's a period for like I think a week where you get on Best Buy, um, and GameStop for about MSRP, and people were. But then after that, like now, like they're just bought it instantly or gone instantly. So that's kind of where we are right now. Um, and so yeah, that's a review of Pokemon 2024, and I look forward to see what happens next. All right, bye.